Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Angela Palmer from Stamp with Angela, and I'm excited to be here with you today to share some ideas to help you with your card making, your paper crafting, to inspire you, to share some new techniques and things with you. So I appreciate you joining me. So each Thursday at 1:30 p.m. I come live on both Facebook and YouTube. And I'm just checking. Yes, it looks like we are both live on those today, which is great. And if you're not able to watch the live, then you will be watching the recording. So I appreciate you watching today, whether it's live or afterwards. So please feel free to comment, ask questions, let me know you're here. It's always nice to chat. And even if you're watching this later, you can still comment and things too. So if you're joining me, let me know where you're joining from. It's great to see where everybody is scattered all over New Zealand, and sometimes those overseas as well. So I appreciate you being here. Today, I am going to share some card ideas using designer series paper, which is the Stampin' Up term for DSP, also known as patterned paper. So this is something you can try at home. It's a technique that has been around for a while. And yeah, fun to revisit. So I hope it inspires you and gives you some ideas of some ways to make some cards using your pattern paper or designer series paper. It does need to be double-sided paper for this kind of technique to work. So I hope you will give it a try as well. So if you are new to this channel, because I have had some new people subscribing to me recently and also to my newsletter, just a little bit about me. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based on the North Shore in Auckland, and I've been a demo for over 13 years now. So when I started, my youngest was 1, and it was more for time for me to enjoy my crafting, something that I enjoyed. And I thought, I'll do class once a month and maybe earn a little bit from it, and that'll help pay for my crafting supplies. So I've loved the people that I've met through Stampin' Up, both other demonstrators, team members, customers. That community is amazing and lots of fun. And some of them are in person, some of the connections are online, and some people haven't met in person. But that's one of the great things about Stampin' Up in the community. And I've been able to do, things like trips overseas to go to conferences and all that kind of thing as well, which is optional if you wish to. So it's been worthwhile, and I've enjoyed my journey. And today I'm going to share some crafting with you. So let's get started and check out today's card. All right. Here we go. All right. So here we have got the Peaceful Garden Suite. So whoops, there goes my camera. This is in the mini catalogue, which came out in September. So if you have a look at page 32 and onwards, we have this Peaceful Garden Suite. And there are lots of amazing products that are part of the suite. So the catalogue is great because it gives you lots of inspiration and card ideas, and then you can either copy or create your own. We see that it involves a stamp set. The Piece on Earth is a photopolymer stamp set. It is just sentiments. And then we've got a die set. Now I've been using my dies, so my dies aren't on a sheet, but I've got them in my little container here, so I don't lose them as I'm using them. So we've got, you can see here, these for cutting out, which is perfect for cutting out a different sentiment. Then you've got some things that you can embellish your cards with doves and leaves, and some little ones as well, including some stars and a little that as well. I can't think of what it's called, for the dove to hold. We've got a cool embossing folder, some embellishments, some ribbon, and some glimmer paper. So today I will use the cool ribbon, the Misty Moonlight silver edged ribbon, and these, as you can see, I've been using lots of these as well, the hues of blue flowers. And of course this set is lots of blue, which I love blue. This is the paper here, which comes in a 12 by 12, and I haven't got much to show you because I've been using lots. So these are a couple of sheets that I've got left, but lots of pieces here. So they're different blues: Secret Sea, Misty Moonlight, There's some cloud cover. You'll see in this one here, there's a bit of cloud cover. There's also some crumb cake, a bit of basic beige, and then some of the paper's got a little bit of touch of pecan pie in it as well. But I love the blues. If you don't know, blue is my favorite color. So this paper is amazing. All right, and I've just found here, you can see what these look like. Let's move that out of the way. These are the shapes that you can die cut and then layer up to if you wish, which is very cool. And there is the glimmer paper, which I do have, but I haven't brought in here with me. And then lots of more ideas of cards and other home decor pieces that you can do as well. I'll also let you know about some coordinating products relating to scrapbooking, 46 and 47. So you'll see exactly the same papers. So of course you can use them for scrapbooking. And there's a sticker sheet that you can add to it as well. There is another stamp set. This has got both some images and some words, sentiments, plus two-tone cardstock in those coordinating colors. So great for scrapbooking, or if you're wanting some two-tone cardstock for your cards, which I use in my cards as well, you can get a multi-pack, 2 sheets of each, which is a really great way of doing it. But anyway, I'm sure you want to see what we're going to craft today, so we'll move on to that. I see some people joining us. Awesome. Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me today. If you've just come on, do let me know you're here. I'd love to know who's here. So say hi, where you're from. But I appreciate you joining me. And the same as if you're joining live. Sorry, if you're joining in the recording later as well. So today's card is an old technique, well, one that's been around for a while. And it's called the Rip, well, I call it the Rip and Flip technique. And basically you're going to use both sides of designer series paper. So I used it in coffee and cards this week in using the note cards. So here's a couple of smaller note cards. Note cards are great because they come in a pack of 20. They're scored. They've got envelopes. They're ready to go. They're lovely and they're, good and easy to create with. You can stamp on them. In this case, I have used the designer series paper. And these both ones I've used some of the white twine just to make it a little bit flatter, not so bulky. And then I've done a couple that I have used that wonderful Misty Moonlight ribbon. And you'll see one of the cards is more Christmas themed with the dove and the peace on earth. The other ones I've used other stamp sets that I've got. Happy birthday. This with deepest sympathy is part of that peace on earth set too. So you've got some Christmassy kind of sentiments, but also some with deepest sympathy, heartful prayers, big hugs for a good friend. So a few different sentiments that you can use on there. So this is the note card version. And then I've got some larger ones as well. So I'll show you those and then we'll get started. So this one here. So recently my team leader, Jackie Williams, made a card similar to this, or completely different colors, completely different papers, but this technique which reminded me of it. And I thought, oh, I love that technique. Let's pull it out and do it again. So this is the cool one with the dove. So you'll see it's similar to this, but you can see the one card's a bit bigger than the other. Now, I didn't want to use any dies. I wanted to be able to use papers and punches and things. So kept it simple. And then different papers, different colors. We've got this one because it's a different color on the back. So with my coffee and cards, so coffee and cards is the first Tuesday of the month, which was on Tuesday this week. And now I've introduced it on a Thursday as well, particularly for new people wanting to come along. My classes have had great numbers, so there's not really room for anyone else. So if you're keen to come along and you're free on a Thursday, love you to join us. So this is what we made. And so it's stamp, ink and papers, punches, no die cutting machines, keeping it nice and simple. So the big thing to remember when you are making a card with the Rip and Flip technique is your designer series paper, your patterned paper, needs to be longer than what you want it to be when it's finished. And you're going to use both sides. Now, this particular paper obviously has a direction, so this is the right way up. When you're going to flip it, this is actually going to be turned upside down. So you've got to make sure that one of the sides, you need to make sure that one of the sides, if it's directional, the other one doesn't matter if it goes this way, upside down. okay, and you'll kind of see why shortly. So I'm going to just show you on the small one how I did it, and then we'll make another big card so you can kind of see the process of how it all works. Great, I see that a few other people are joining us now, so that is cool. Welcome Linda and Natalie, and just looking at other comments and things. I see Jocelyn, Felicity, awesome. So Felicity's got this set as well. So that's cool. I'm sure others do as well. All right. So basically, we are going to rip. So you'll see the line down here. So we want to sort of rip about this much, and you'll see the white edge. So I want to show that white edge. So I'm putting my card this way, or paper this way, because actually, no, it goes that way, doesn't it? Whoops, I had it upside down. So let's get it up the right way. And I want this here. So if I rip like this, about so much, at the moment, if I rip down, the white is on this side. But it's this side that I want to see. So I'm ripping that there, so I know I want to rip on here, but I'm actually going to now flip it over. So I started this way, and I'm flipping it like that, and I'm going to rip down, and I'm pulling the top layer, and then my white edge is there. I'm doing it fairly straight, but, you know, a little bit interesting. If you wanted it perfectly straight, you just cut it. But it's that edge that we like, and I'm just going to try and show a bit of white down here too. All right. So we're going to flip the side back, and this is what I mean by it needs to overlap. Okay? So you'll see it's not perfectly straight. If I went down in a diagonal, when I flip it, you'd end up having a gap, and we don't want that. So this larger piece I'm going to adhere first because I want to put this over the top. All right, so I've got a slight border around the edge. Now I'm going to show you this process again, so don't panic if you didn't follow the first time. So we're gluing that down, and then we're going to glue this over the top on the left, and you'll see a slight border. All right, and I've got that nice white edge. Right, let me just straighten up my camera. I don't like it if it's wonky. There we go. So how's that? Does that make sense? Now, if we're going to add some twine or some ribbon, we want to do that before we put it onto our card base. And I wasn't going to make up this card, but now I am. And I'm just going to look for some white twine so I can actually show you how I did it. So bear with me for 1 second as I look through my, do you want to see my box of all my stuff from when I went to Coffee and Cards? That's all my bits. It was nice and tidy when I left, or when I went to Coffee and Cards, and now it's got all sorts of things in there. And do I have my twine? Have I already put it on the table? I've got some, that one, but I actually want white. Maybe it's already on the table. All right, like I said, I was just going to show you with the ribbon, but I thought while I'm doing this, now I want to do the other. Looking for white twine and card bases. All right. I'm going to have one more look. My stuff is just outside the door. And if not, we will go with... No, I'm going to find it the minute I finish doing it. So for the sake of the technique, I'm going to use this one, linen thread, which is a different color, and I prefer the white, but just so you can see the technique. Okay. What I'm going to do, I do need tape for this, and then I'll show you the cool way with the ribbon afterwards. Have I put that on the right side? Yes, I have. All right. So before I put it on, if you do it the traditional way of have an end to tie a bow and wrap it around and cut, you've got all this here that is wasted and you don't need to, you don't need it there. No one's going to see it. So let's be economical and do this. So I'll take these off and I'm going to start, so stick it down like so onto that tape, go across, then I'm going to stick it down there, but turn it around and come back. I'm going to cross over slightly, stick it down, and then I'm going to cut it using my ribbon scissors. So obviously you need to do this before you stick it onto your card. And then I need another piece for a bow. So this might look quite nice too, actually. I probably would prefer the white because it will stand out a bit more. But I love linen thread, more natural kind of look. So if you want it to be a little bit more subtle. So I'm just going to tie a knot and then tie a bow. So this is a bit flatter, like so. Okay. Then I have stamped my sentiment and put it on. So let me find a scrap piece. That's for my card. And I want to use, okay, here is one I've done earlier. And you could just stamp happy birthday, whatever. And I have actually sponged it to make it look softer and then stuck that on. Here is my card base, which is fold in half. Use my bone folder to make a nice crisp edge and put that on with glue. Now I'm going to share a little tip if you want to glue, no, sorry. I'm going to share a tip if you want to use tape. Now, one of the reasons we don't like tape is because if you stick it down, you can't move it. But here's a way that you can still adjust it with tape. So I'm going to put tape on all four sides. One, so the two long sides. And I like to tear because it is tear and tape. I know some people like to cut, but I'm going to tear. Now what I'm going to do is pull up the edges. This is when my take your pick tool is quite handy, just to get in there and get into the edges. That one did go slightly over. But what I'm going to do is just pull a little bit off and then have a little tag to the side. Now this is this corner here. So for this one, I'm going to go up to this corner and pull a little bit down. And same thing. Oops, I've lifted both layers off. So you stay down. No pressure when you're on camera. Okay, and I'm going to have a little tag sticking out. Not this corner, but the one over here. Start lifting it up just a little bit, fold it out, move it round to this corner, pull it down, and fold it out. Okay, so there's only a little bit of tape showing. So if I look at like this, you should be able to see all four white pieces. Does that make sense? So I've got four pieces on and the little tag showing. Then what you do is you put it onto your card, making sure the tags are still coming out, and you've got time to adjust it because it's not sticking down really hard, maybe a little bit where the tape is exposed, but you can move it around. When I'm happy with it, I'm actually going to flip it that way. When I'm happy with it, like so, then I'm going to kind of push it down. And now what I'm going to do is just pull these out. Like so. How's that? Have you tried that technique before? Have you tried with tape? Leave the tags out so you can adjust it and then just pull it out. Isn't that cool? All right, so let me just show you. We've got the loveliest tree here, so I'm just going to do a little happy birthday stamp and the punch. Now this punch is a lot bigger than what we want. So I'll show you, and I've showed you before, but in case it's your first time, I'll show you how I made it smaller. So I'm going to stamp happy birthday like so. I'm going to close my ink pad so I don't get ink where I don't want it. And I'm going to punch it out. This is the labeled with love punch. Rather than do it in the center and have lots of white, I'm going to do it closer to one side, trying to get it straight and centered. And then I'm going to push it into the punch and line up this side about there. Make sure it's level and not, angled, and then punch it out. So this way you get the nice pattern of the edge of the punch, but it's not too big. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my blending brush, and I am going to just sponge on there a little bit. You could leave it white and you could decide where you want to put it, or you can just sponge a little blue over it just to tone it down a little bit, whichever blue you like. This is more Misty Moonlight, I think. And it also just sort of defines the edges. So I'm going to put it there with a couple of dimensionals, and that's my card. Isn't that cool? All right. 1, 2. And you could add some embellishments if you like as well. So we're going to use that lovely hues of flower. Here we go. Use my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to put them around here, I think. Which color? Let's go for the darker Secret Sea one. So we're going to put one up there, one here. And what am I going to do with my third? Where shall I put it? Maybe, shall I go for a white one? Maybe up here, just to be something different. I'm not sure. There we go. So that is it as a note card, the Rip and Flip technique. So let me show you the other little ones I've done. So some with the linen thread, the white thread, the ribbon, some happy birthday, deepest sympathy, lots of possibilities, different paper, and there you go. So what do you think? So Elizabeth hasn't seen that before with the tape, so something to remember. I know some people do not like using glue, so that's a cool way of doing tape and being able to line it up still. Someone else said they use the spatula when they use their tape, which is great. Slides between the layers quite easily too. That's cool. All right, so let me just show you in a slightly bigger card now. So this was the original one that I did. So I had some people come over for World Card Making Day, and we made the kit, which I'll show you at the end. And I wanted to have a card for them that they could make too. So we did this one here. And then I've run out of that Dove paper. I've used it so much, I've got none left. So I had to use this one. Now this paper, if you look at it, is different colors on the back. So this is one side, or this way, and then it's brown on the back. So it's quite contrasting. And this time I've gone with a Misty Moonlight card base because there's the Misty Moonlight in it. So let's show you in a standard size card. All right, so same principle. It's going to be longer than what we want it because we are going to need to overlap it a little bit. So let's look at the pattern. So we're going to rip sort of down there a little bit. So we're going to rip, you can either start ripping there, or just remember we're going to turn it like this, and then we're going to come down because we want the white on this ripped left edge. And I find it easier to pull down. If you're left-handed, you may find it easier to do it the other way. I'm not sure. All right, so and then we're going to flip that back. So it's going to look like this. So I've just got a narrow border of the white around the edge just to make it stand out. Now I'm going to do something different for my card base, which I'll show you. So this time I'm doing it quickly with glue. That generally is my preference, but I wanted to show you the tape idea. So this is a thin layer, slightly narrower than what I did with the other card, and then that's going to go on there. So has anybody done this flip and rip technique before? I know some people don't like ripping, so yeah, that can be a little bit hard sometimes. Let me show you how I added the ribbon. So we need to do that before we put it onto the card base, because we want to adhere it, tuck it behind the back so we can't see it. All right, my ribbon is here. Now, initially I had 2 short pieces and I tried to tie it, but it can be a little bit fiddly. So then I tried to tie it before it got stuck down, and then someone at Coffee and Cards came up with this really cool idea of doing it while it's still on the roll, because then you've got a longer end to hold. So what we're going to do is make a loop, so about that sort of big, and pretend so like you're starting to tie a knot. So I've got that, like tying your laces, and then we're going to tie again, going back the other way, and then pull it. So you've got a loop and you've got this here. It's just much easier to hold when you've got a longer piece there. Then I'm going to cut it off my roll, so about here. And you think, what am I going to do with a loop? How's that going to work? So I'm going to cut it in half. And then guess what? It goes like this. And then what you need to do is attach it behind. And it makes it so much easier to tie it like that. If you need to, you can, before you stick it down, you can just kind of play with that, adjust it, trim it if you need to, and then we're going to adhere that. So if you need to see it again, I might just show you one more time. Have you tried that? So I'm doing a knot rather than a bow, because a bow is a lot bulkier. So it's just a knot. So I'm going to put that down. I'm just going to use my double side tape just to hold it down and make sure I haven't twisted it. And like so. There we go. And then you can just kind of have those. Now, since we've got some crumb cake there, I thought I'd try it on a crumb cake base. Then that coordinates with this card. We've got the blue and the blue. This card, we've got the crumb cake and the crumb cake. So now my ribbon is on. I can glue it. And we're going to put it on like so. And see, with my glue, I can just adjust it if I need to. Now I'm going to do my piece on earth. And I'm going to stamp it in Secret C again. And let me just check that this is going to fit. I'm like, yep, that will fit. I do like to stamp first, because then if it's slightly wonky or something, I can adjust my punch. So tap, tap. We don't want it too inky. Stamp it in the center. It's quite a biggish one, so that's why I want to press down. And then we are going to punch it out. This is the, what is it called? Heartfelt hexagon punch. This is a great one to use. I didn't want to use a die, because the die from the set would make it too big on the card. So I wanted the punch just to make it a little bit smaller. So with the punch, line it up where you want, and then I push it so it's gripping. See, it's not going to fall out. And then once I'm happy with where it is, then push it out. If you kind of line it up, push, and just punch, it might jump out of place. And by letting it grip before you press it through, helps a lot. Now you could leave it white. What do you think? Should we leave it white? And where we're going to place it might depend on doves. So let me know in the comments, should I keep this one white or should I sponge it? Let me know. I will look at the comments and see what you think. While we're deciding if we leave it white or we colour it, I'll show you 2 options for inside. So this one is fairly easy. I've just used a strip of designer series paper that coordinates with the front, because there is no image with this particular stamp set. So there was no image to stamp. I do like to put something inside. So I've used a strip of paper. Now with this one, I have used a die, but I thought if I have a die and then I put it on here, you will see it, but it kind of gets lost. Hard to see. So what I did was I sponged in a corner and then I adhered my dove. So that's what we'll do now. Just going to grab my scrap piece and my blending brush. I'm not actually re-inking it. I'm just going to use the ink that's there. So as much or as little as you like. And then put that on. And then can't you see it really well? I might just kind of come in here a bit more. I don't want to get it on my dove. Just kind of a bit more of a angle. However you like. And then put that on. I'm just going to glue it down because it's inside the card and I don't want it to be bulky. Oops, I've got something written on the other side. And like that. So isn't that a cool idea for the inside? Where are we? Looks like people are saying sponge it. Okay, I'll look back at the comments and see if there's any others. But using the blending brush and some ink is just a way of using a blending brush and some ink is a way of just softening it so it's not too kind of white. Right, looking back. White, I think, says Linda. Jocelyn and Elizabeth say sponge it. Ooh. Let me show you again. So this is, and then I've got to decide where I want to put it. Do I want it more there or over here? All these decisions. I mean, you could go there, but I think maybe I'll do this one here this time. So obviously it is quite white. Let's try it sponged. Just very lightly. Maybe more so the edge. Kind of adds a bit of definition on it as well. I could leave the middle white or you could sponge that in, but I might, oops, leave it like that. And then we'll put it, where was I? Was I going to put it like that so you see that one there? All right, I think that's quite nice. I'm sure white's good too, but just a little bit of colour on the edges. Oh, Karen says great tips. Glad that you've got some great tips and things. That's what I'm here, just to give you some inspiration and some new ideas. So I appreciate that. All right, what I usually like to do is use my Take Your Pick tool, much quicker than my fingernails or fingers. Right, where did I have it? About here. So you can see a little bit of that one. Beautiful. And then add some embellishments. So on this one, I've used the white. They're just very subtle. This one I used white, white, white. Maybe we'll use something different from white this time. We haven't got any Secret Sea, so I think I'll avoid that color. Maybe we could use the Misty Moonlight. And where did I have one before? I don't know if we want one. Maybe we'll put one there and a couple over here. Hard to know. Where would you put them? I kind of like to do a sort of, if I do that there, you're not going to see it really, are you? I like to sort of do a triangular pattern somehow. Or maybe I'll, let's do that for something different. Ching ching, it's not, it's sort of a diagonal. There you go. A little bit different. I do love these embellishments. So they are adhesive on the back, so you just got to make sure when you pick them up, you get right underneath them. There we go. So the Rip and Flip technique. So lots of card ideas. So what do you think of it on crumb cake? So this is, so that ties in this side of the DSP together. This is the Misty Moonlight. What's your favorite color there? And then this is obviously, I've gone with the darker color because there's a lot of the Secret Sea, the darker color in this one. So with the larger cards, which do you like? Do you like the crumb cake card base, the Misty Moonlight, or the Secret Sea? And then with the smaller card, so you'll see this one's got a white base. This one with the note cards, they were white, so then I had to have a, whoops, my bow's come undone. I had to have a contrasting color because you need to sort of adhere the paper to something before you put it on the card. There we go. So I've got cloud cover in the background and different papers. So which one of those do you like? So different punches, different ribbons and things. So lots of possibilities. There you go. So any questions about the Peaceful? So it's the Peaceful Garden Suite on page 32. And then it uses these products here, the Peace on Earth stamp set and the paper. The paper is called the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. We've used the Misty Moonlight with the silver edged ribbon plus the hues of blue flower embellishments. So lovely products there. So thank you. I appreciate your comments. It's good to see some Miss Linda likes the Misty Moonlight. Some of them saying very pretty. They're great. So you can make this design and it would look totally different with another set of paper. So why don't you have a look at what you've got in your stash? Just make sure you can, turn it around both sides and then make some beautiful cards like this. But if you are keen on this particular suite because you like it, then you can order online or you can get in touch with me and I can help you order it. Did any of you take part in World Card Making Day on Saturday? Did you know it was World Card Making Day? So I'm going to show you this, which I know is a bit hard to see there. This is, I'm going to lie it down, the heart, no, what's it called? Let me check. It is called the Handmade and Heartful kit. So this was made on the live, or you could register for it for World Card Making Day. I'm not quite sure if the link is live to everyone, but you can watch how they made some of these cards, and then there were other things as well. So this is a cool set. So it comes with a card organizer. Now I haven't actually put it together because I was going to show you here. So when you get it, it comes kind of flat like this or somehow, and it's got some adhesives here. So I'm actually going to put it together now so you can see it. And this is cool because it's got something for you to keep your cards in. Oops, and then we need to take this one off. Now then we need to tuck it in and make sure it adheres in the right place before we stick it down. There we go. So now I can push those down. Oops, I've done something. Oh no, it goes up to the side. Phew. There are instructions, but I'm not ready. Oh, you know what? I probably needed to get this bit ready first. Oh no, we should be okay. So again, this is like the dividers. So you've got a choice. You can keep it with just the 4 even dividers. Is that right? No, it's got to go down further. That's why it's not sitting. We've got to tuck it down further. Like so, and then that's level. Okay, so that'll sit in like this, and that way you can have the cards in all the 4 pieces like this. But if you wish, there is an extra divider, so you can divide this one up so it'll go in like here, and you might think why, and that is so, for example, if you wanted to keep a pen and some scissors handy, and maybe I don't know what they had in their picture, and then something, oh that's right, in their one they had some stamps and things, so your cards are ready to go to use. So this is, you can decide to use this or not use this. So at the moment I haven't adhered this, but I'll pull those off and stick those in, and then we can do the last bit. So this is quite, I'm going to pull these off now. Doing it live, hopefully I get it right. Don't want to put you wrong. And I'm pulling this off. I've got to make sure it goes all the way down to the bottom. And I probably have done the order wrong, but that's okay. So I'm going to push these in so I can slide it all the way down before it sticks. So because of the joint at the bottom, we've got to make sure we go all the way down, and that lines up there. All right, and we've got to keep going down, down, down so they level up. All right, let's do this one first, and then these. Hopefully I've got it right and I haven't put you wrong. There we go. Oops, it's slightly wonky. Oops, we're just going to leave it. There we go. And if I want to, I can adhere that afterwards. But let's make it straight. So just try and get that straight before you stick it down. All right, and then we can put our cards in, and you've got a cute holder. So let me just quickly show you the cards. So if you missed out on World Card Making Day, or you would like this kit, you can still order it. There are 2 of each card. These are the 5 cards, and it comes with a stamp set too. So you can make them exactly like they've done, or you can change them up. So it comes with a stamping spot, which is Secret C. I've got the lid coming off there. There we go. So that is like the color I used earlier, and this stamp set. So on here we've got happy birthday, thinking of you, thanks so much, to and from, you're the best, and hello sunshine. So some great sentiments, and you get a block slightly thinner than the other blocks, plus dimensionals and embellishments and all the things. So I've only made 1 set of cards. This is for the other set. And it comes in a great box, slightly longer than the normal boxes because it obviously needs to fit the card holder. But that's what it is. So if you missed out on seeing that, it's $68 plus shipping. You could get it for yourself or a present for someone. So I just wanted to show you this because I thought this looks really cool, and it was fun doing World Card Making Day. So I wanted to share this with you. All right, so to finish off, and I'm just reading through the comments because I've been busy talking. I haven't seen them. Felicity said, on the inside of the dove, save the bulk blend color over the bird, leaving the white exposed. Misty Moonlight pops better than the crumb cake. Right. So with my 2 cards. So, yeah. So she's saying that this one pops slightly more than that. But, you know, all different. Good to try different things. So I'm wondering if you mean, Felicity, you are cutting out your dove and then you're sponging, taking that away and sponging into the hole. I'm not sure, but that's one way of doing it as well. Cool. So just before I go, I want to mention a couple of other things. So if you've got any questions about anything I've shared, reach out to me and I'm happy to answer your questions. 2 things to mention that are happening at the moment. Now, one of them, if you are on my mailing list, you will get my 12 weeks of Christmas. And I cannot find my little picture. Here it is. So 12 weeks of Christmas. So there is a tutorial exclusive to my newsletter only. Different tutorials using card inspiration. The first week was something using this paper, different to these. This week's one, which went out half an hour ago or an hour ago, was a simple kind of fun fold using other papers. So if you don't have to have all the products that I've got, you can use the ideas for your own cards. So if you're on my mailing list, you're getting this already. If not, encourage you to subscribe and you'll get my usual weekly emails plus this bonus free tutorial as well. So thank you for signing up if you are going to do so or if you already have. Lucky last, October is an amazing month for a promotion, the opportunity to join to be a demonstrator. I love what I do. Like, I've been doing this 13 years and I've met lots of great people. You get to use Stampin' Up product, and actually I've got it on this one here, which is a bit bolder and brighter. There we go. Yeah, meet lots of great people, get to be creative. You get support from me, lots of ideas from Stampin' Up as well. It's usually $189, but you can join for just $67. That is amazing. I've never seen it this cheap before. And you get to choose $285 worth of products. So if you don't have to do classes or lives or all the things that I do, you can join for yourself. Maybe get the odd order from a friend or something. I'd love you to be part of my team. If you're wanting more product, you can spend the usual price of $189 and get $407, more than double worth of product for free, no shipping as well. And then you get to join and be part of the wonderful Stampin' Up family. So if you're wondering, check out my description. There's more information. Feel free to email me, ring me. I'm happy to talk over it more. Obviously, you need to sign up online and you'll do your own orders and that kind of thing, but I can help you with that. And there are minimums to stay current. So if you decide to sign up as a demonstrator, if you want to continue as a demonstrator, you need to either buy yourself or sell approximately 550 New Zealand dollars every 3 months, which and you get a discount on that, but you can do it, spread it out so it's not all at once. And because we're already starting the partway through a quarter, we've actually got until the end of March 2026 to put in that first $550 worth of products. So you've got a bit of time. And if you're interested to, maybe try and get sales from someone, like, sell the old kit or something like that, I can help with some ideas on how you might be able to achieve that. But it's lots of fun being a demonstrator. There's some of my team on this live now. I'm grateful for my team and all that they do and that we can share. And I'm there. We've got team events and Zooms and different things, so I can support you. If you just want to join and you don't have time for that kind of thing, no pressure either. It's totally up to you. Remember, my 12 weeks of Christmas, please sign up. I hope you had lots of fun. I hope you were inspired by today's Rip and Flip technique and also this beautiful Peaceful Garden Sweet Peace on Earth bundle. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you again soon, and reach out to me if I can help in any way. And if you are watching YouTube, please subscribe and click on the notifications so you hear of other lives and things in the future. Thanks so much. Enjoy your afternoon. Bye.